Hello, it's Nikki, and welcome back to episode 21. This is all about the magic of you. And I think that this is really key to spend some time on. And the reason being is I think so many of us can get in our head. We can compare ourselves. We can look around and go left and right of like, this person is doing this and that person's got it all figured out. And we just are not very kindly towards ourselves. And so I want you to remember your magic and what you bring to the table. And I know that this process in itself can be deeply uncomfortable because many of us were not taught to celebrate ourselves. And we weren't sort of taught to be like, oh, I'm amazing at X, Y, and Z. It would always be greeted with a, well, don't get too full of yourself. Hang on a minute. Whoa, like rein it in. And so what I want you to recognize that even if in this moment right now, in your business, in your life, if it feels stuck, if it feels hard, if it feels relentless, if it feels challenging, I want you to keep zooming out and seeing the full version. So July 2026, as I'm recording this, I could look at one particular day, one particular hour. But what I need to look at is the 44 years. And remember that maybe if I just made a mistake in the moment, that isn't career defining, it's not personality defining, certainly not for me in the kind of mistakes that I'm making. I get that it might be for some people and therefore they would be cancelled, and rightly so. But for most of us, we're good people. For most of us, we're doing the right things. And so I want you to make sure that you're always having that zoom out moment. And I actually did this example with my son the other day, and he was talking about how his head feels sometimes. And I was saying that I want you to almost imagine that there's two versions of yourself. And when the two of them are like really close together, like, it feels really claustrophobic and tight round his face. Whereas if he can find that version of himself that's like, okay, let's zoom out. And I was demonstrating, he was sitting on the sofa and I moved myself into the kitchen. It's like, can you see how much space you've got now? How you can assess the situation and how standing back gives you more capacity. The second thing I want you to recognize is if you're going to believe the bad stuff, you have to believe some of the good stuff as well, because otherwise you're just not helping yourself and you're not seeing the whole truth. And I know that we can get really absorbed in our stories of like, I always do this, and focus on that. But you have to turn it around and see it from the other perspective. The good and the bad, the light and the dark. We work with nature. We need that cyclical situation. And there's always an opposing situation. So make sure that you are not just spending your focused time on all the bad stuff and all the stuff that you didn't do. You have to recognize the good as well. I want you, thirdly, to imagine the impact that you can create when you tap into the magic of you. And I went to an event the other day at the Apple Store, and one of the speakers was saying that her brain is her best business asset. And I really let that land, and I thought, yeah, it is, because it's something that is with you. It's the common denominator the whole time. And so tapping into how you make that magical, how you access that part of you is really, really important. And instead of just shying away, going, oh, this is rubbish, this is not working, move yourself into a position where you can have one more conversation, where you can share your work with a group of people, where you can go online even though you don't feel your 10 out of 10 version. Imagine the impact that you will create. Because when you put that in the mix, your voice of like, no, I don't want to, blah, 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 that moany voice, it begins to turn down. So what happens next? I would love you to do these things. Firstly, declutter. Begin the process of getting rid of anything that does not allow you to shine as that magical version of you. It could be the stair pile that you trip over every single day. It could be the conversation that you have with your child and you know it doesn't work. So take some time to put a system in place. It could be the way that you roll over in the morning and immediately start scrolling on your phone. It could be the breakfast choice that you've just got into the habit of and you're like, I don't know why I'm eating this in the morning because it makes me feel really sluggish. Think about what you want to declutter and move around in your life. Secondly, rise up. Accept the call. The call is here. It's like, we're ready for you. Come on over. Come and do your thing. We need to see you. We're asking for the magic of you. We want to see you win. And so accept the call. Don't get stuck in but I'm not ready, but I don't know. You know when your friends are like, come to the pub. Come to the pub. And you're like, but I haven't washed my hair. But like, oh, I was going to do this. They're like, come to the pub. We want to see you. We just want to see your face. That is how your ideal client, your audience, your customer is thinking. Thirdly, make some bold moves. I think the time for just, being tentative, doing a little shuffle, thinking about it, hoping for it, that ship has sailed. It's time for the bold moves. We need your voice, your personality, your expertise, your experience, your knowledge, your skill set. We need it all. So give it to us. If you haven't subscribed to the series down below, please do so. I will leave all the links and I'll catch you in the next one.